Number 10. The oldest known incidence of cancer treatment. When we think of diseases like cancer, we tend to consider them through a modern lens, acknowledging their imperfect treatability with contemporary medicine. In contrast, when we imagine the distant past, the situation seems even more dire, and the concept of effective treatment for such diseases often seems implausible. Historically, many ancient cultures lacked the advanced medical knowledge necessary to treat complex illnesses like cancer. However, recent findings challenge this assumption by revealing that ancient civilizations, particularly the Egyptians, did indeed attempt to address such conditions in their own way. The latest archaeological evidence has pushed back the timeline for known cancer treatments to ancient Egypt. The Egyptians were surprisingly advanced in their medical practices, demonstrating a sophisticated understanding of various diseases. This discovery is anchored in the examination of two ancient skulls, one belonging to a woman who died around the 600s to 300s BCE and another from a man who lived between 2687 and 2345 BCE. Both skulls exhibit bone damage consistent with cancerous tumors. The woman's lesions align with osteosarcoma, a type of bone cancer, and additionally show signs of treatment for traumatic injuries from earlier in life. Interestingly, the man's skull displays signs of what is believed to be metastasized throat cancer. Notably, the skulls reveal evidence of surgical intervention, suggesting that ancient Egyptian doctors employed surgical techniques to address cancer, although it remains unclear if these procedures were performed while the individuals were alive or posthumously. This finding provides insight into the medical practices of ancient Egyptians and indicates a rudimentary understanding of cancer treatment, despite the lack of specific terminology for the disease. The Egyptians had general words for swelling and tumors but did not differentiate cancer from other conditions with similar symptoms. If these procedures were indeed early attempts at cancer surgery, they represent a precursor to modern surgical practices. Number 9. The extinction genome. Fern. The human genome is vast, and if it were printed in book form, it would span over 200 thick volumes of information. However, the genome of a fern native to New Caledonia and Vanuatu in the Pacific has surpassed this, holding a record with 321 billion base pairs of DNA. To put this in perspective, this fern's genome would fill 11,000 books compared to the human genome's few hundred. If arranged linearly, this genome would stretch over 100 meters. Interestingly, this massive genome size seems to be a result of an evolutionary anomaly. The fern has struggled with controlling transposon growth over time, leading to an accumulation of excess DNA. Most organisms evolve mechanisms to suppress this kind of genomic expansion, but this fern appears to lack such controls. The implications are significant because each cell division requires replication of this enormous DNA, which can slow down cell replication and typically leads to extinction. Despite this, the fern has managed to persist, likely due to its niche in an area with minimal competition. The long-term survival of this species remains uncertain, but its existence provides a unique case study in genomic evolution. Number 8. Frosted Martian volcanoes. Mars, known for its icy polar caps and subsurface water deposits, has revealed new evidence suggesting that water might also exist in a surprising location, the tops of its highest volcanoes. This finding comes from the Tarsus region of Mars, where Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the solar system, is located. Researchers have discovered deposits of water ice frost near the summits of some of these volcanoes, though this frost appears to form only under specific conditions. The frost is detected primarily in the Martian morning and only during the depths of Martian winter. Researchers have ruled out frozen carbon dioxide, which can resemble water frost but would not form under the observed temperature conditions. Instead, the bluish frost must originate from the Martian atmosphere rather than from volcanic outgassing, as it is seasonal rather than year-round. This discovery helps explain the observed atmospheric water, as it may be condensing into frost on the mountaintops. This finding adds a new layer to our understanding of Martian water distribution and could inform future exploration and study of Mars's climate and geology. Number 7. The fungus that can eat plastic. The environmental impact of plastic pollution is a well-documented issue, particularly in oceans where plastic waste accumulates and eventually breaks down into microplastics. One unexpected solution has emerged in the form of a marine fungus known as Perenniodontium album. This fungus has been found in the North Pacific, where it colonizes and consumes polyethylene, one of the most common and problematic plastics found in the ocean. Polyethylene undergoes chemical changes when exposed to ultraviolet (UV) light, making it digestible to the fungus. While the breakdown process produces a small amount of carbon dioxide, it is not a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. However, the fungus is ineffective against plastics that sink to the ocean floor and are not exposed to UV light. Introducing this fungus to non-native areas is not ideal, but it offers a potential pathway for dealing with polyethylene that cannot be recycled through conventional means. This discovery contributes to ongoing efforts to manage plastic waste and explores the potential of natural organisms to address environmental challenges. Number 6. Triton and Pluto may be siblings. Neptune's moon Triton stands out as an anomaly among large moons in the solar system due to its retrograde orbit, meaning it orbits in the opposite direction of Neptune's rotation. This unusual characteristic suggests that Triton may have been captured by Neptune rather than forming alongside it. Recent research has revealed that Triton and Pluto share numerous similarities in their compositions, indicating that they may have originated from the same region of the solar nebula. Both Triton and Pluto exhibit similar amounts of nitrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide, which points to a formation in the outer regions of the solar nebula, a cold region rich in nitrogen. Comets with similar compositions also support this hypothesis. Triton's capture by Neptune and Pluto's location in the Kuiper Belt remain unresolved mysteries. Studying these bodies further could provide insights into their formation and evolution, and comparing them to other Kuiper Belt objects may shed light on their historical contexts. Number 5. The largest goose that ever lived. Australia is renowned for its diverse and unique fauna, both contemporary and prehistoric. Among its prehistoric inhabitants was the Genyornis newtoni, a gigantic bird once thought to be an ancestor of the emu. These enormous birds stood over 2.5 meters tall and weighed up to 230 kilograms. Fossils, including a particularly well-preserved skull found in 1913, have been identified as belonging to this species. Interestingly, it turns out that these birds were not land-dwelling like the emu and ostrich but were actually waterfowl, more closely related to gigantic geese. The giant thunderbirds, which are now classified as anseriforms, persisted alongside humans in Australia for tens of thousands of years before eventually becoming extinct. The examination of their skulls reveals a kinship with South American screamers, a type of waterfowl with a somewhat sparse fossil record compared to other birds. The giant thunder geese were likely omnivores with a strong inclination towards vegetation, similar to modern geese, although their enormous size and potentially aggressive nature would have made them formidable creatures. Number 4. The world's oldest preserved wine is known to improve with age, though there is a limit to how long it maintains its desirable qualities before turning to vinegar or otherwise deteriorating. Recently, a remarkable discovery was made. The world's oldest existing wine in liquid form was found in a 1st-century Roman mausoleum in Spain. This sealed glass vessel, containing approximately 5 liters of wine, was discovered alongside the remains of a man of high status. The vessel was sealed with lead, which contributed to the preservation of the wine intended to accompany the deceased on their journey to the afterlife. The wine, originally white but now exhibiting a reddish hue due to decomposition, is not dissimilar to wines produced in Spain today. While this find is impressive, it may not be the oldest wine ever discovered. Other contenders include a wine found by Jacques Cousteau from the earlier Greek period, around 2,200 years ago. There have been rumors that Cousteau and his crew tasted this ancient wine, though this has not been confirmed. If anyone has information on this, it would be interesting to know. Number 3. A new theoretical kind of atom. Just when you thought we had a comprehensive understanding of atoms, new theoretical developments suggest that we might have more to discover. The periodic table of elements, while a masterpiece of scientific classification, predicts the existence of atoms that have yet to be synthesized and hints at the potential for an island of stability, where very heavy atoms could exist without decaying almost instantly. Beyond these predictions, there are possibilities for entirely novel types of atoms. One such theoretical atom is tauonium, which would differ fundamentally from traditional atoms. Instead of having a nucleus and electrons, tauonium would consist of a negatively charged tau lepton and its antiparticle, the anti-tau. The tau lepton, akin to a massive cousin of the electron, is about 3,500 times heavier than a proton. Exotic atoms, like positronium discovered in the 1950s, consist of a positron and an electron in a specific orbital configuration. Tauonium could be identified in future particle colliders specializing in tau leptons, and its discovery would add to the growing list of exotic atoms. Number 2. Quantum superbehavior. The quantum realm continues to surprise with its peculiar and counterintuitive phenomena. Recent research has introduced a new level of strangeness, revealing that quantum states with low energy can combine to create a state with energy levels significantly higher than their individual components. This phenomenon is linked to the wave nature of particles and involves superoscillations, where segments of a wave oscillate at frequencies higher than the average frequency of the entire wave. Researchers have observed that low-energy waves, when examined in detail, can exhibit regions of extremely high energy, contrary to what would be expected based on the overall wave's energy. This effect has implications for imaging devices and could lead to advancements in medical imaging technologies. Understanding these superoscillations provides a glimpse into the intricate workings of quantum systems and their potential applications in science and technology. Number 1. Mini black holes and unraveling dark matter. Primordial black holes, tiny black holes formed shortly after the Big Bang, have been a topic of considerable interest in the search for dark matter. These hypothetical black holes could account for a significant portion of the universe's dark matter, though their existence remains speculative. Recent research has introduced the possibility of a new type of primordial black hole related to color charge, an attribute of fundamental particles such as gluons and quarks. Color charge involves the interaction of quarks and gluons, leading to the formation of charge-neutral particles like protons. In the earliest moments of the universe, quarks and gluons with different color charges may have created primordial black holes that were charged due to the lack of other available charges. These black holes would have evaporated quickly, potentially influencing the ratios of elements formed in the early universe. Investigating these extinct black holes could provide new insights into dark matter and its role in the universe's formation. Thanks for listening. I am futurist and science fiction author John Michael Gadir, currently eyeing the 600-kilogram goose fossil suspiciously. I do not have a good track record with geese. The native species around here is the Canada goose, which is ubiquitous and beautiful, especially when flying in their V formations, but often isn't a bird you want to anger, even accidentally. Trust me, I know. The nightmares continue, so be sure to check out my books at your favorite online book retailer and subscribe to my channels for regular, in-depth explorations into the interesting, weird, and unknown aspects of this amazing universe in which we live.